change the law to do this.
Got it. But you concede that when the president came out and said, I have done all I can do, that was not true.
Oh, I mean, I disagree with many of the executive actions that this administration has taken. And Brett, you've heard me, in fact, in studio the last time we were together.
On the show, I know.
That's right. It was me and Senator Langford, actually, talking about the failure of the Biden administration to handle illegal immigration and our border security appropriately. I do not retract any of that criticism. It still exists today. But that's why our legislation requires the administration to use these tools.
I'm going to play one quick soundbite. This is then Senator Joe Biden talking about a border wall.
We have to have a significant increase in the security at the border, including limited elements where you actually have a fence. Not a fence 3,000 miles like these folks are talking about, but you've got to, there are certain places people can go over and under a fence, but you can't take 100 kilos of cocaine over and under a fence.
He was very adamant when he was running for president. Do you think that your bill creates the mechanism to finish a border wall?
So, as you probably recall, Brett, I actually chair the border subcommittee in the Senate, and my ranking Republican is none other than Senator James Langford. And he and I have been working on border wall issues for 5 years together. This legislation extends the current border security improvement plan, which the Trump administration introduced in August of 2020. Our bill actually says we've got to implement that plan. The plan that President Trump introduced in August of 2020, our legislation requires that we continue working on that. And it's both repair and building new elements of wall. So that's in the legislation because the reality is, you've seen it yourself, Brett, the cartels are just cutting holes in the border walls in Arizona and just letting thousands of people through down in Lukeville, Arizona. We have to have the ability
and in
to stop
California
that.
and in other states.
That's right.
We saw video of a lot of them coming across in unfinished portions. Senator Sinema, we appreciate you coming back on Special Report. Thanks a lot.
Thanks so much, Brett.
We'll follow the bill up next. We'll get the other side of this debate with Texas Republican Congressman Chip Roy.
There's some things that work better together,
like your workplace benefits
and retirement savings.
Voya helps you choose the right amounts without over or under investing, so you can feel confident in your financial choices.
Voya, well planned, well invested, well protected.
Here's to getting better with age.
Here's to beating these two every Thursday.
Help fuel today with Boost High Protein. Complete nutrition you need without the stuff you don't. So, here's to now. Boost!
Oh, hello there, and welcome to A History of the World in 6 Lessons,
Where we take you on a journey through 6 eras of civilization.
Excuse me.
And join me, your host, John Lovitz. Hey, I'm Kevin Nealon, and my new book is called I Exaggerate. It's available in bookstores everywhere.
What's going on here?
What's the problem?
I'm the host here. You guys are co-hosts.
Get me to look like deal again. Which one's this thing?
Join me in 4 scene-stealing acts for A History of the World in 6 Lessons.
They should be paying you, George.
AG1 works by making foundational nutrition easier. Combining vitamins, probiotics, and whole food source nutrients into one comprehensive formula. Start simplifying your nutrition today at drinkag1.com.
Switch to Shopify so you can build it better, scale it faster, and sell more. Much more. Take your business to the next stage when you switch to Shopify.
This or that, this or that. Do this, and do that. Do this, and do that. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Get started today at Angie.com.
Meet Noodles. She's part short hair and part ninja. Meet the Bissell Crosswave Hydro Steam. It's part vacuum, mod, steamer, and ninja nemesis. Bissell, a new breed of clean.
Have you noticed more bruising as you age? You're not alone. Now you can help improve the appearance of bruises with Dermed Moisturizing Bruise Formula. Help your bruised skin. Find Dermed Moisturizing Bruise Formula now in the first aid aisle.
Tax season is hunting season for identity thieves, which is why tax fraud was up 30% last year.
LifeLock alerts you and works to fix problems with a dedicated restoration agent. LifeLock, identity theft protection starts here.
Instantly, DraftKings, you make the playoffs even more exciting. Legendary NFL coach Jim Moore. What do you think?
You kidding me? Instantly? Even if I don't win a playoff game?
Yes, Jim. Even if you don't win a playoff game.
Playoffs? Playoffs? Instantly?
Instantly.
Are you kidding me?
Who's calling these questions?
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and turn a $5 Super Bowl bet into $200 instantly in bonus bets. The crown is yours.
Food has definitely been a very dominant voice in my head. That's not the main focus anymore. Dieting, exercising, and adding GLP-1s through Row is a game changer. I have such a sense of mental freedom since I started with Row. Food no longer controls my thoughts. The only time it used to revolve around food, and now it revolves around what we're going to go do together.
Need the weekly shop that helps you lose weight? Connect with a provider at Row.com. Fashion moves fast. So we partner with Verizon to take our operations to the next level.
With a custom private 5G network.
We get more control of production, efficiency, and greater agility. That's enterprise intelligence.
It's your vision. It's your Verizon.
Hey Mom, if I could talk, what would I tell you?
I'd say thanks for giving me Cosequin all these years.
Keep 'em moving with Cosequin Joint Health Supplements, the #1 that recommended retail brand.
My mental health was much better, but I struggled with uncontrollable movements called TD, tardive dyskinesia. TD can be caused by some mental health meds.
And it's unlikely to improve without treatment. I felt like my movements were in the spotlight.
#1 prescribed Ingrezza is the only TD treatment for adults that's always one pill once daily. Ingrezza 80 milligrams is proven to reduce TD movements in 7 out of 10 people. People taking Ingrezza can stay on most mental health meds. Ingrezza can cause depression, suicidal thoughts, or actions in patients with Huntington's disease. Pay close attention to and call your doctor if you become depressed, have sudden changes in mood, behaviors, feelings, or have thoughts of suicide. Don't take Ingrezza if you're allergic to its ingredients. Ingrezza may cause serious side effects, including angioedema, potential heart rhythm problems, and abnormal movements. Report fevers, stiff muscles, or problems thinking, as these may be life-threatening. Sleepiness is the most common side effect.
It's nice. People focus more on me.
Ask your doctor about #1 prescribed once daily Ingrezza.
My hope is that we can actually talk about how we're going to amend it, how we're going to go through the process on it. This is the opening salvo on it, and we'll have the real dialogue to be able to go through it. Worst case scenario, we do nothing, and another 2 million people cross this year, and we have even more national security issues than we even have right now.
Senator James Langford of Oklahoma, the Republican side of that bill creation operation in the Senate. Let's get the opposition perspective from that spending proposal and the southern border, Israel-Ukraine. Texas Republican Congressman Chip Roy joins us now. Congressman, thanks for being here. You know, the majority leader, Steve Scalise, has said it's dead on arrival, may not even come up. For people who say, why not just put it on the floor for a vote? If it fails, it fails. What do you say?
Well, first of all, great to be on, and my answer to that question is pretty simple. Why doesn't the Senate just put H.R. 2 on the floor for a vote? This is the kind of deal that gets cooked up behind closed doors. This is not my first rodeo. As a staffer, Chief of Staff Senator Ted Cruz, I was here during the Gang of 8. I've been here for a number of these fights. And the fact is, the Senate has pushed this up behind closed doors, and they know full well it's dead on arrival because it just perpetuates the mass migration crisis that the Biden administration has created. And I don't say that like...
Now, it does have some of... Now, let me just interrupt. It does have some of H.R. 2 pieces in there. Obviously, it has other things in there. You heard Senator Sinema for a lot of that interview defending some of those portions. I just want to get to your biggest criticism of the bill as it's written. What is that?
Yeah, well, first of all, it doesn't have anything meaningful out of H.R. 2 because we put that together thoughtfully to actually stop the abuse by the executive branch to just let people come into the United States. They're using asylum and parole as loopholes, effectively, plus judge created loopholes to dump people in the United States. With all due respect to Senator Sinema, these provisions they put in there, they're not going to do the job. In fact, they're going to have $4 billion to hire a bunch of so-called asylum officers who are going to rubber stamp a whole bunch of claims up to 5,000, which if you multiply that would be up to 1.8 million. Now, I know they say, oh, these are encounters. I heard Senator Sinema say, Well, they're overstating that. That's just encounters. But my office has been releasing 85% of everybody that they brought in. And the small changes they made to asylum is not going to change that. Meanwhile, they fund $1.4 billion for the NGOs that are working in a direct relationship with the United Nations to call people up from Mexico. So they're not going to do anything. And by the way, they provide attorneys for unaccompanied children. Unaccompanied children don't count in the total 5,000 numbers, which means it's a magnet for cartels to keep abusing children. This is the least effective bill you could possibly put together. They know it's dead when it gets here. The Democrats want this as cover for not actually doing their job. They want to be able to point who love those Border Patrol agents and wants to make sure that that number is 0, not 5,000. Unfortunately, the Senate is not going to send us a package. It's actually something we can move on the House floor. We need to go back to H.R. 2. They need to take it up. We can do it in a conference committee and do our job. But we did that a year ago. They're doing this as window dressing in an election year to try to actually score points in November.
Obviously, you're not surprised to hear the Democrats in the Senate think it's the exact opposite politically. Here's Senator Chris Murphy.
It seems to me that House Republicans sort of live in this fantasy world in which there isn't another party. The only way that you pass anything is that it's bipartisan, and Republicans in the House take this my way or the highway approach, which tells me they're not interested at all in solving the problem. They're just interested in preserving immigration as an endless political cudgel that we just use.
He's going outside by himself.
No, I got it.
Well, a lot of my colleagues here on the other side of the
He
aisle
was
said
going
it's easy
outside.